Tonight we have a beautiful big bright moon framed by the pinnacle.
BBC.
And because it's so close to Earth, it's by far the easiest thing for us to see. And we don't need any special equipment to see it either. Your own eyes will be just fine.
No special equipment needed.
No prizes for recognising this as the moon. But you might spot that something seems not quite right about it. Compare this picture, taken from the UK.
North Hemisphere.
Australian view.
South Hemisphere.
You can instantly see that the moon looks a different shape. The shadow is on the other side. But that's not all. Look more closely at the patterns on the surface. The big dark area on the left of the moon is the Sea of Tranquility.
The craters change too, just like they do every night. Now look, they got NASA up there. All right.
The Sea of Tranquility has jumped to the right-hand side.
It does every night, and it ain't supposed to. See that? It does that every night.
How is that?
Look at that. That's what our moon does
Is the other way
every night.
So how
See
is
that? It's not supposed to. Here, John's got footage. Yeah, every night, timestamped. It's doing that. It shouldn't be. Okay? This guy's going to show you. Same thing I've been showing you.
Everyone on Earth is seeing the same moon at the same time. We see it a different way up because we are a different way up.
Oh. Pay attention.
So we're going to use my motorcycle helmet here to represent the Earth. And we're going to use this little camera to represent you sitting on top of the Earth. If you imagine that my face is the moon, the view from this camera shows how you'd see it from the UK. The right way up. And if we travel from the UK to Australia, we're going to go around the curve of the Earth until maybe I look a little different. So going around
south.
the other side of the Earth means that we see things in a different way because one of us is upside down. And I'm not sure if it's you or me. Our opposite views of the moon turn its monthly phases on.
Monthly. It's supposed to tilt 23 degrees and then back.
We see the same.
It never does a flip.
Anywhere on Earth at the same time. But the way we see that moon depends which way up we are.
Not east or west on the planet, but up or down on the planet.
Full moon looks like the letter C. While for you in the UK, the same moon looks more like a capital D.
Oh, gee. And it rises and sets. It used to the same way. Because we used to roll like this. The polar vortex, however, tilted our planet, and we still roll the same way. It's just oriented differently to the moon, which still orbits around us. It is also oriented differently to the sun and everything else on the ecliptic, which is very evident in all the footage. That, I mean, you can open your damn eyes and go look at yourself. The sunspots are doing circles around the sun every day. Jupiter's freaking moons are dancing around it every day. That's time-stamped. Okay? The moon, you don't need special equipment to see, and it's doing that every night. Without question. It's a ball with a shadow on it. You cannot roll the ball and move that shadow by doing so. It has to be the observer changed their orientation 66.6 degrees. We used to tilt 23.3. Now we roll to a 90. We pose the ecliptic. We come down the planet. Period.
In the sky from a different angle depending on where we are on the planet. It's the same with the constellations in the sky. And tonight we've got the magnificent Orion the Hunter pretty much directly overhead. And you might notice that it looks a little bit different in our
these stars are supposed to be on the bottom here.
It does in the skies from the UK. In the UK, Orion is seen as a hunter standing up, holding a bow and arrow with a dagger hanging down from his front.
However, you'll notice at rise now, Orion is laying flat on the horizon, And at set, he'll be laying this way on the horizon. He does the 180-degree roll also. He should not. These are hemisphere-specific views. Navigation up and down the planet depends on these being the way they are, because the tilt dictates where you are north and south on the planet. We could never go east and west until we had extreme chronometers to tell you the difference between the time zones. We have always traveled north and south with the moon and motherfucking Orion never doing a cartwheel, because as we go down the planet, it's supposed to tell us what angle it is where we are on the planet. That's as simple as it gets. There is no argument, no debate, unless you're really ignorant of fact. And that doesn't change the fact. There are millions of web pages that tell you directional navigation using the moon. You find north and south using this. It tells you very specifically it rises and sets just like this. Every month. This is a monthly thing right here. This is not a nightly thing. And it tells you how to navigate up and down using the angle of the moon.
First stone you place is east, second stone is west. Alright? Simple. Okay. 10 minutes later, that shadow is going to be over here. Okay? So you place another stone. So all you got to do, wait 10 minutes. Okay, now this line right here is your east-west line. In the northern hemisphere, it's always going to be east on this side. First stone you place is east, second stone is west. Alright? Simple. Okay, to help us out with our direction, we're going to need to understand that the moon goes through phases. Alright? We know we can get direction on a full moon using the shadow stick method. What about when it's a crescent? Okay, there is a way. So first let's look at what the moon's going to do. It's going to go through 10 phases through a period of waxing and waning. Alright, waxing is simply increasing, waning is simply decreasing. Alright, so it's going to start out here, 3/4 moon. Now, what these crescents here can do for us. We have a, here, okay, we have a waxing and a waning. We have an increasing and a decreasing. Either one works just fine for this method. Okay? You take and you draw a straight line from each point on the crescent. Okay?
Just like the good doctor just did.
In the night sky. That line is going to end up right here. Okay? That will point you due south.
Notice he keeps saying north hemisphere.
It's going to point you due south. Okay? Either one works. Alright? So now there's another way we can find our direction. So we can find our direction on a full moon. We can find our direction on a crescent moon. What else can the moon offer us? Alright? When the moon, it's either going to come out during the day when the sun is still out, or it's going to come out at about midnight. Okay, when it comes out about midnight, it's going to face you due east. Okay, so when the light of the moon lit up, came out at about midnight, the light of this moon, this face, is pointing east. Alright, now that we look at that,
used to be.
The sun
it no longer does now,
okay?
by observation.
Over the horizon here, and the moon's out. Mm-hmm. So we have the moon and
the moon at rise looks more like the sun he has drawn here. No longer a crescent. Simple as that. First point.
Sun. Alright. This means that this light, when these two are out together, the light on this moon is pointing you due west. Okay? So when you have two here, remember it's going to point you west. When you have one, it's going to point you east.
And this is all known navigation. No matter how many times I tell somebody, no, the moon we navigated by for centuries before we could go east and west. Someone would be like, no one ever navigate. Yeah, they did. Everybody used to navigate with the goddamn moon. There are 7,690,000 web pages dedicated to that. Have fun arguing with them, because you're not going to sit here and get anything but blocked from me. I'm not hearing it. I drove around nuclear vessels with nuclear weapons on them and was taught how to use the moon. I know a little bit more about navigation than you do, sitting in your armchair listening to, I don't know, people like Scientific Lead. Over the years, I've also been impeccably right about the quakes and the timing and the progression of this insanity that we see ensuing every day now on our magnetosphere, which translates into the spiking of the Schumann frequency each and every day now, all day. And I began telling about it when we were having a 5.0 quake every other week, not 8 of them each day. I have told of this day and how it will progress to get to this day for years, and I've not been wrong ever about it. Also, with the polar vortex, this is Earth's magnet. I have told of the day that this clockwise swirl that is the polar vortex will override our magnet. And that happened this year. Yeah, that was 2020. It looks different this year. We have a clockwise rotation on the pole. That has never happened before, ever. I said it would. And the moment this happens, the Schumann will never stop spiking. And I've been right. I've also been right about the global fires going on and how they will continue to escalate along with the storms we're seeing. The reason why being simple physics. This blue sun, ultraviolet sun, black light sun, dark star, the blue fucking Kachina overrode our Earth's magnet, and our ionosphere is being compressed. And if you can see the storms inside the storms inside the storms, you'll understand this is magnetically driven. Why do we have 2 poles split with a fucking clockwise rotation on the north hemisphere? Coriolis effect, no longer in effect for this planet. All these little green ones are new fires, active 4 acres a day ago. All these old ones, they're getting bigger. This one, 2 days ago, they don't have a very good idea on it. But over here, we've expanded to 27,000 fucking acres. Active, not contained, down here in New Mexico and Arizona and Nevada. This one here's 55,000 acres. It was 10,000 last week. Started a week ago, 2,900 acres, unknown. This one started, what, 2 days ago? 2,400 acres, active. This is all around me. This one here. This one was contained, 9,200 acres, began 2 days ago. And they didn't even have it labeled. This one they do not have marked or labeled either. These have been expanding and growing in intensity and distribution for a while. Our Yucatan is on fire, so is the Congo and the Swiss Alps. None of this has been guesswork, and I haven't been wrong. No matter how many names people call me, they're just upset because I'm right, obviously proving them wrong.